Hey everyone, the Concerned Parents have this today travelled to Livingstone in Scotland to bring to you the truth about the real Mark Sinclair. I would like to introduce to you a very brave and beautiful young lady by the name of Chelsea.
Hi.
Chelsea is going to tell you a wee bit about herself, but she was Freedom Dad, aka Mark Sinclair's stepdaughter for many years. So Chelsea, if you want to tell us how Mark first came into your life.
Yeah. So my mum got married to Mark whilst he was in Shotts prison, and it was obviously quite controlling. But when he'd get out prison, it got really bad. So it did. Like my granda had died, and I think that's when he found that he could have all the control because there wasn't another man present.
Yeah.
And growing up, Mark hated me. He hated that a girl, like a woman, spoke back and stood up for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he treated my mum really bad.
And can you remember kind of what age you felt that Mark hated you from?
I would say 11. And he blamed it on me growing up. Obviously, at 11-year-old, like, you start to get a bit older than that. But I do know it's because my granddad died.
Yeah.
And he had, like, full power. Like, my mum was up there on her own. She had no family left.
Yes, so once your granda passed away, she was then isolated, and it was much easier then for him to have control.
Manipulators, yeah, it was really, really bad. Like, he'd assaulted her in front of me once. Outside, he'd punched her in the face. He'd had her up in the throat and punched her in the face. I was on the other side of the window watching it.
And how did that make you feel, seeing
Horrible.
your mum?
Horrible. I think about it all the time. Like, I've still got the vision in my head of what he'd done. So he did. It was just it was so controlling, and my mum couldn't ever say yes to me for anything. Barry was controlling her, like how she felt about me, to the point me and my mum hated each other.
Yeah.
And they really did ruin the relationship between my mum till like the day she ultimately died.
Yeah. And this is probably going to be quite a hard question for you to answer, but how did it make you feel when you then seen him kind of fronting protests in Northern Ireland, pretending to be for the protection of women and children?
Horrible. I was so glad when I'd actually came across somebody in my family had sent me the video of him getting attacked. And I'd kind of done a wee bit more research into it, and I'd seen that he was an advocate for women and child safety, and I thought that is a pure kick in the teeth to my mum, that I sat and watched you bully, manipulate, isolate for everybody. She wasn't allowed friends, and you're advocating for women's safety as long as it suits your narrative and your followers' narrative.
Yeah.
It's just, it was horrible, and that's what's made me really, really put my foot down now, because I think that is the last person that should be advocating for anything to do with safety about women and children.
Yeah, and I completely understand and agree with what you're saying. But it's obviously very interesting to hear from a completely different perspective, because we've been targeted in different ways by Mark.
It did really hurt. Like I've knew he's been doing this Freedom Dad for a while, and at heart I'm like, all these people don't know you. Like all these people really do not know who you are at all. And I'm sitting watching all these people glorify and praise you, and like it's so concerning that so many people believe all these lies.
Yeah, and I think for me that's the very concerning part. There has been, in my opinion, quite a lot of red flags regarding his behaviour, the way he does things, and how he perceives himself to be. So I can't imagine how that would feel for you. Looking on.
It was traumatising, because I know how bad a person he is to women. I've heard of other women he's been with. I've seen it firsthand with my own mum. And I think you're the last person that should ever be looking out for women and children, knowing how much a bad person you are to women and children.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you could say anything to Mark right now, what would that be?
You're going to get everything that's coming to you. Absolutely everything, and I'm so glad. I've been waiting for this for 6 years. For the minute my mum died, he made my life hell. He made my mum's death revolve around about her, not round about him. I couldn't grieve. I've still not been able to grieve properly. It was so traumatic. I was 8 months pregnant, and he would just brandish me all over Facebook. When my mum died, I didn't cry for three days.
Yeah.
I didn't cry for it because I was just so angry the way I found out. He was saying to my family, like, you'll never see your children again. I'm going to come down. It was just really traumatic, considering my mum had just died and I was pregnant. You know what I mean? I was feared at one point.
Yeah.
So I was.
Yeah, and I think not that it's any consolation, but you know, I don't think you're the only person that he's put fear into.
Yeah.
And
it's always conveniently women, but
yeah.
Which is my main problem.
If they acted the same with men,
if they acted the same with men, I would think that's just the type of person you're. But you know, he can't help it because it is only women. It's not like he can't help but be a bad person.
Yeah.
He targets sad, lonely, vulnerable women.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that we can both agree on.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Chelsea, was it all those feelings that kind of came up? Was that the reason that you reached out to the concerned parents?
Yeah. I was sick. I was sick seeing such a bad person be glorified for something that is the complete opposite for, and something as severe as like women and children's safety. Something I've got a daughter. I've been in my own domestic relationships, and I think you're the last person that I would ever want to advocate for me or my child.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, I totally feel the same.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific that you recall that he kind of that would maybe cause you to have flashbacks?
Well, I honestly, I don't know. Like, I grew up with him, and he was such a controlling person. He hated me. He used to like shout in my face. He would always say, "Your mum would pick me over you all the time." He would talk about like my dead nana because he knew it would get to me.
Yeah.
Like he would set me up. He would make me really angry on purpose and then record me. Like, I was a teenager, I was like 13.
Yeah.
And he would just humiliate me all the time, and it was a humiliation, and he would turn my mum against me and that, and I don't know, like, it must be like seeing him hit my mum that time and just how he treated my mum. I had a nightmare where I'd lost my daughter and I was looking for her, ran up and Mark had her underneath a mattress decomposing, and I genuinely think the decomposing in the mattress was because the way he had my grand's house, my mum's house, my mum lay there rotting for years because he wouldn't let her do anything, and I feel like that's where it comes from. I feel like the like, I don't know, it's I think I do have PTSD. I have been seeing like therapists, my CPN, and I do talk about it a lot, but it's something I really do find difficult to talk about.
Yeah, and that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
I think you've been very, very brave, not only from what you've came through in your own personal life, but losing your mum.
Yeah.
But to now, as a mother yourself, stand up and say enough is enough.
I'm doing it for her. Like she's not here. I keep seeing comments where he's saying, what is it? He says they talk about my wife because she can't defend me, whereas like I'm the one here defending my mum.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm doing this for my mum, and I'm doing it for every other wee lassie that he's round about and every other woman he's round about.
Yeah.
He's a danger to women and children, in my opinion.
Well, obviously, I didn't know your mummy, and this is the first time I've met you today, but I have no doubt in my mind that your mummy will be very, very proud
and I know she would.
of the woman that you've grown into.
I've been wanting to do this for 6 years.
And when you reached out and sent those messages kind of saying that you have been waiting for this moment basically your whole life, I cried real tears.
Honestly, it was like such a big moment, because I think there's other people that see through that. There's other people that see through the fakeness and the lies.
Yeah.
It's pure control. He loves to control all these followers he's got, and he likes to make out as if he's the only person telling him the truth.
Yeah.
And like, you're just feeding them like that's not you. You're not being your authentic self. You're acting on a camera.
Yeah.
He's camera hungry. He's fame hungry. He likes attention. That's the problem. I've known him since I was 4-year-old, and he craves attention of people. He craves that type of fame and following. It's like a cult.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And he does have quite a following who absolutely defend him to the hills, and they'll say, you know, there's absolutely no way he would be in any way bad or derogatory towards a woman.
Do you know what? But they don't
what would
know
you
him.
say to those people?
They do not know that man. I've knew that man since I was 4 years old. Well, my mum died when I was 20, but I left the house when I was 16.
Yeah.
I was with him that time, and he's an animal. He's a horrible, horrible, manipulative, controlling person. One of the worst men I've ever encountered with.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, it was very important to come over. You know, there's a lot of focus on, you know, domestic violence and things like that, but I think the root cause of many women not reporting it is because they're not believed. And I think what we're kind of witnessing happening here with someone who is a public figure, so to speak.
It's not just that, but he threatens me. He threatens me. Big people he's got no contact with whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that's who he threatens people with. So he does put the fear into a lot of people.
Yeah.
Again, through lies.
Yeah. And I feel that myself, you know, it appears to me that he kind of goes around different areas pretending that he's got this backing and this, you know, all this stance, and it is very intimidating for women. And we have heard from women back in Belfast who have been approached by him saying similar things, you know, we know where you live, and alluding that harm may come to those women, and that in itself is intimidation.
Yeah, especially for a woman. Do you know what I mean? It's hard enough being a woman without people like that with such a big following, and he makes out he's got such like a big community round about him. Having somebody like that threaten you is intimidating.
Yeah, it really, really is. Well, Chelsea, I hope we can continue this discussion maybe on a live sometime.
Yeah,
but I would just like to say, first of all, thank you for being so brave for reaching out.
Honestly, I'm waiting for this.
And, you know, I hope this can be the beginning of your healing journey, and you can finally start to grieve for your mum.
Honestly, that is exactly why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for her.
Yeah. Well,
a bit of justice.
I would just like to say I have only met you today. But you are an inspiring young woman, and I think you're clearly a fantastic mum to your little girl, and you're an absolute credit to your mum, regardless of everything that you have been through. Yeah, you're still standing strong today, and you've been very, very brave for telling your story.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.